Alright, we start another video as a car comes driving down the street trying to run me over. We've had some strange weather. We had tons of snow and then tons of rain. Has mostly melted it away. I think I have one cat following me and this car. Truck, excuse me. This is weird. I feel like I should make a video, but I don't really know what I should talk about. Because this has been so weird. This entire life of mine lately. Is cat following? I don't think so. Maybe by myself. What I've been doing this week is actually dealing with a sick cat, Percy, who is the one who is least likely to be seen on any of these videos. He's the brown striped skinny guy who is so good at camouflaging. Actually, it looks like more fog. Fog is the snow dissipating. He got stressed out and got cystitis caused by stress. And so just after Thanksgiving, he was in the ER. And luckily, they didn't need to do any surgery on him. But he needed lots of meds. And the problem is, one of the most stressful things for a cat is to be put in a box and taken in the car to the vet. So he got treated for that, and then it caused a second complication, and he had to go back to the vet, and he's doing great now. Still on meds. Still recovering, but doing very well. And actually, on a personal note, I saw a surgeon too this past week, and it turns out I don't need the surgery. I had an injury, and this is hard to believe, and I'm kind of stunned at it myself. I had an injury when I was in labor with my son, who is now 18 years old, that has not fully recovered and has not been treated in all this time. And initially they were going to have a surgery, but the problem is, because I've had this long, ongoing issue, and being avoidant, I never spoke up about it and didn't get it treated. And actually, on 2 separate occasions, they were going to go and do further testing on it, and I chickened out and backed out and didn't have it done. At this point, if they are going to repair it, they would actually have to take out all the scar tissue also, which would be a very significant amount that they would remove in order to fix this. And they've decided, thankfully, to not do that first, because I did just have this emergency surgery, and that was pretty straightforward. It actually was really very good. What is that, a dog? Is that Mickey Mouse? Anyway, it's Mickey Mouse. Anyway, and yet, because I'm by myself and stressed about it and everything else, and apparently have a high level of pain in my body, which apparently surgeons are very impressed at. They're like, "Oh, you have a really good nervous system, a really painful nervous system." Anyway, luckily I don't have to have that surgery done. What they're going to do is medication, maybe other dietary type things, which doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. I mean, who knows? Maybe diet really does impact how you heal, etc., whatever, but primarily medication. There's a person right there. Okay, so let's be quiet for a little while. Sorry about the quietness, but seriously, there's a person right there. Okay, let's jump across the street. So that's what I did this week. I also went traveling again, low key. I went to Boston, and it was great. And I didn't do anything near what I thought I was going to do because I had car trouble. And again, we did have a big storm up here. So this is what happened. I had car trouble. I went to my mechanic. He's like, cool, we'll fix this. It's no problem. It's this one little part that needs to be fixed. Ordered the part. Took 2.5 hours for it to come. Where I was sitting in my mechanic's office, hoping to hell that they didn't come in and want to chat with me. And when the part came, it was the wrong part. So they sort of finagled it to fit on, and it lasted about 20 minutes before it popped. Oh, this house is for sale again. I think they've sold it and a new guy moved in last year. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. So I was going to drive to Boston. I would have been able to do all this stuff. I also was going to visit my son, who has decided, thanks to his father's influence, that he doesn't want to see me, basically ever. I mean, initially he wanted me down there, of course, to drop off stuff for him. It was not like he was interested in seeing me. He wanted me to do stuff for him. But now he's decided, listening to his father, who is the most perfect human being on the planet, not to see me, and I'm not to know their address, etc. I could track down his address. I'm sure it's in his email. I'm sure that there's some piece of paperwork with his address somewhere in the house. If I want to be nuts and psychotic, I could track it down. But I'm not going to. Things like, I know my son's taste in novels, so I found a book that my son probably would like, right up his alley, sent it to him, and his father nixed it. His father, who's never read the book, because he thought I was sending him an inappropriate suggested novel. I'm like, what? Ever. My son truly believes that the reason why he didn't go to any classes, I swear to God, okay, you ready? He thinks the reason he failed out of school and didn't go to any classes was because I was checking in on him. So I really need to not have anything to do with my kid, and it's hard. It's really hard. Especially, look at all this Christmassy stuff. Guess what I'm supposed to be doing right now? I'm supposed to be hanging out with my kid. I know this message thing is all over the place, mostly because I haven't recorded one for quite a while. It is recording, isn't it? Yeah, it is recording. It's to the point where I'm like, it's actually working? That's how long it's been. Oh, can you see those? Maybe we'll go down there. Since there's no cat following me, there's at least 3 of them outside, but there's no cats following me. What are the chances? That thing I just showed you in the woods is actually, I think, my favorite lights around. I think they're great. Let's see what else is going on. Besides what's going on with my kid, which is the average. She seriously blames me for all of... See it over there? Wait till we get closer. He blames me for everything that he hasn't done Anyway, whatever. Today, what I did today. Today, when it was decently warm, that's that crazy house that always has that scary thing in their doorway. They've got like nice lights. They don't have, well, they do. I think it's I don't think you can see it. There's like an elf or something like there. Normally they have some spooky thing because they don't want people looking in their window, which totally makes sense to me in its insanity. But they changed it out. They put like some sort of scary doll type thing in there. So now it's an elf. So it's less scary. Anyway, today I decided to go visit my father, which is very difficult. He doesn't remember who I am. He remembers he knows me. But, he's nicer than he's ever been in my entire life. That's weird. So I took him out of his memory care center, and I brought him out to walk around and look at Christmas lights. It's weird. I mean, I never did that as a kid with my father when you're supposed to do that type of stuff. So, it's one of the things that you get told to do. I have a lot of therapists who try to say, well, you have childhood neglect. And there's an entire syndrome of childhood neglect, which is separate from avoidant personality disorder. But obviously they're kind of related because it takes some sort of childhood emotional abuse to become avoidant. It doesn't have to be neglect. It doesn't have to be from your family. See, aren't those cool lights? Wait till we get closer, like I said. But a lot of the things that happen when you're avoidant happen to you as a person with childhood neglect. So I just like a lot of times they're like, oh, you have PTSD, let's treat the PTSD. You have depression, let's treat the depression. The problem is it comes from the avoidant personality disorder. So you're treating a symptom, not the actual problem. So let's say you have shoes that are too small, and so you're getting blisters. Okay, yeah, you can treat the blisters. Big deal. So you can keep yourself from getting an infection and dying from a blood infection. But you're going to continue to keep getting new blisters because you have not solved the problem, which is you're wearing shoes that are too small. Okay, so I have PTSD, there's a car, and I have depression, but they're caused by avoidant personality disorder. So I can keep treating those things. And, there's lots of people here. And here, I'll check out these. I mean, what these are is basically massive twinkle lights. I think they're just trying to see what this is. Because there's like, I don't know if you can see over here. Can't see anything. We're on the top of a hill. And there's a street that goes down into the valley. And so when you're driving up the street, which a lot of people do, they can see these lights. So I think there's a lot of people that come up here just to see what the heck is going on, which is basically a house with a tree with big giant twinkle lights so that you can see them from miles and miles away. But it is really cool. I really like it. I'm sort of dissing it, but I really like it. I'm all over with this particular yapping that I do. Again, because it's been so long since I did it that there's so much stuff going on. Let's see if I can see these. These lights are, 4-6 inches long, each of them. They really go out of their way. They're really cool. So, yeah, like I said, I went to go visit my father. We went to go see Christmas lights, which clearly I like because look at me coming all the way down here to see these Christmas lights at this house. He did all right with it. He was in public walking around. He did really good for a person with dementia and Alzheimer's. He did really good. You know, my father, still wearing a diaper, but doing pretty good. I talked to my son today. He accused me of being the cause of him failing at college, which is ridiculous. To add to my personal masochism, I went to get a treatment on my hair. Very vain, very, very against everything that I know to do. Generally, I get my hair cut like maybe once a year. Trying actually hard to go and get treatments on my hair. This is going to sound, I can't wait for the criticism. Once a month. This is remarkably stupid and vain. There's no point to it, except that it's pushing my avoidance. I'm trying very hard to see the same person who knows a little bit about me, but not much. Knows my hair. We'll talk about my hair, which is weird. It's unbelievably weird. Actually, one of the reasons I did this is I thought my therapist yesterday, okay, again, confession time, but here we go. Getting a haircut is incredibly difficult for somebody with avoidant personality disorder. And it's because of the intimacy of it. Somebody's touching your face. Somebody is, they gotta be judging you one way or the other. My therapist wants me to go to dentist. Now, again, I'm waiting for the judgment here. I take good care of my teeth. I don't have any cavities. I don't have any problem. I don't have any pain. I don't get them cleaned. I don't go to a dentist because there's somebody hanging over my face right in my business. I haven't had my teeth cleaned by a dentist in 10 years. And, part of it is, again, there's somebody that's too close to me. I don't know. Somebody's not allowed to touch me like that. Come on, that's extremely intimate touching. Also, it's a matter of, literally, am I worth it? Am I worth wasting the money on something as trivial as that? There's nothing wrong with my teeth. If I had a cavity, that would be one thing. I'd go and get it filled. But to just get them cleaned by somebody, that's vanity. That's so that your teeth are white and sparkly. That has nothing, that's entirely appearance as far as I can see. And when I was growing up, it was a huge deal My father worked for an insurance company. So he had, part of his benefits was free insurance. He had dental. But like every other kind of dental, you had to pay a copay to go, and it was like ridiculously cheap. It was like $10 or something. And let me tell you, every time we went, I would hear bitching from my family about this $10, which is almost nothing, that they would have to spend to have my teeth cleaned. And it's just sunk into me that I am not worth it. And it's incredibly difficult for me to get past that. And I know there are going to be people out there saying, you're an adult, you make your own money, do your own thing, blah, blah, blah. The point of avoidance is there are messages that are being drilled into your head as a child that just can't be let go. Okay? And some of them are really stupid and obvious and on the surface, like, I'm not worthy of going and having a dental cleaning. But a lot of them are much deeper and more insidious, and you don't realize what they are. And I don't know if it's easier for me that some of these things are so obvious and clear to me. Because you know what? Then I turn around and like, okay, well, duh, they're wrong. You know, if everybody on the planet should be eligible for teeth cleaning, and this is a health issue, then I should be eligible for teeth cleaning. You know, who cares that I was told as a child repeatedly that I was not worthy and I didn't deserve it, and it was being done out of kindness of their heart and social obligation, and that's it. That message was wrong. Doesn't matter. I have totally ingrained the other message, which is I'm not worthy, and who the hell are you to even think about doing this? Maybe do it on my own. I don't know if I talked about this. It's like famous in my own personal story. I did my own orthodontics, which kind of grosses people out. You see the other pictures of me. I used to have a massive gap between my front teeth. I used to be able to stick my pinky finger between my front teeth. And of course, there's nothing physically wrong with your teeth like that. So, my parents never in 100 years would have considered getting that taken care of because I'm not worth it. So what I did, and this is, okay, TMI coming up, man. I did my own orthodontics. I took floss, I wrapped it around my front teeth, crossed it over in front, and pulled my teeth together. And now they are together with no gap. And I did that myself because that's the type of family that I was grown up with. And I know that's like the most superficial thing to be worried about, but also, you know, in the place where I grew up, almost everybody had orthodontics. That was like, you know, I grew up in an upper middle class town. My family was lucky to be there. We did not make the money that other people made, but then again, my mother smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And if she didn't, we probably would have been able to afford it. So, Me doing these things that I've been doing lately are very, very much me pushing against what I should do. Like, I keep going on these trips. First I went to Italy, then I just went to Boston, and I saw the Celtics, and it was great. And I think everybody should go. Or else do something like that. The way that I did it was by telling myself it was a bucket list moment. Think about that for a minute. Not, I just want to do this, so I'm going to do this, but rather, I need an excuse. This is the avoidance, lack of worthiness. Like, in my real life, rearing its head every single day. And I am very much fighting against it. I'm also very much completely alone. Which is probably why I'm able to do these things that I consider to be so selfish and so self-centered and so vain and totally self-absorbed, and yet totally normal and probably less self-absorbed than 99% of the population, is because I'm thinking, well, last chance, time's running out, gotta get it done. Because that's socially acceptable to do crazy, outrageous things. But crazy, outrageous things are things like, I'm gonna go climb Mount Everest. Not, oh, here's a cat. Not, I'm gonna go see a basketball game. Anyway. So that's what I've been up to. This cat is freaking out. You hear him? So I'm going to let this go. That's what I've been up to this past couple weeks. Where are you going, cat? We hear you. Can't see you. There's his feet. I'll let it go. I hope that you're surviving these holidays. This fabulous end of the year season. At least as well as me. Hopefully better. Bye.